Hey YouTube, how you going? Welcome to another video. We're going to be focused on our front end a little bit more. If you saw my previous video, we've got kind of the bare bones of an application working now, both front end and back end, the ability to add notes, view notes, etc. But the UI is a bit not really what I want. And I was thinking of jumping back and forward between, front end, back end, blah, blah, blah. But I think if we just focus on creating the front end to look a little bit more like we want it to, it might be ideal. Now, I was looking if we can import existing files into Bolt, and apparently you can by opening the project in StackBlitz. For now, I'm probably just going to stay here in bolt.new and prompt it here directly. I am going to see if it can create React components rather than TypeScript using TypeScript, just with the chat. I don't think it can because I initiated the project with TypeScript, but hey, it's worth the effort. Or worth asking. So I'm just trying to think about, let me actually see if I can bring up something. Where's an example? So I don't think this is giving too much away. Previously, when I was building out like a Zettelkasten system in Notion, this is how I created it. So the idea is that you have like your main line, and then you have your tags, and then you have your notes associated with that, right? So, and the idea with Zettelkasten type system is every note is its own individual point. So if you invest $5 a day from 18 to 65, you amass over 1.6 million. I thought it was quite interesting, so I saved it, tagged it. We've got related notes, etc. And then the notes or the details of that note is, it's dependent on an average annual growth rate of 10%. So I want to now use some of the kind of this thinking just to update like what the UI looks like and kind of what fields we might actually want on this these note tiles, and then when we click into a note, what we just see. And then I think for the new note section as well, the ability to add a source. Obviously it's a little bit janky here, so maybe it's a stepped process where you can just create a note and then it would ask you if you want to add a source after that. So we're going to tackle I think the front, the kind of primary dashboard to start with. So what I'll do, I'll start writing some prompts in Bolt and we'll go from there. Okay, so yeah, let's prompt Bolt here to make some changes. I'm just trying to think about this. So on the dashboard, notes, underneath the note title, can you place the name of the publication, i.e. this could be, we then source type, this could be YouTube, video, tweet, article. Behind the scenes, it is using this shard CN. So just interested in seeing button card what some of these kind of components might look like. It's not really giving me what I thought there might be a. No, that's fine. So then if we also look at our note model, so we got title, body, tags, source, status. Yeah, we should display if the, we should then have an area. I'm just wondering where the created date makes most sense to go. It kind of does look good there. Let's try to increase the contrast between the dashboard background and the note itself. I forgot to ask you if you can write in React only. Do that next. That looks a bit better. I don't like where the permanent and fleeting thing is. What are these problems? Okay, can you now also add a left-hand menu which allows us to filter by tag? I'm also just interested in seeing how far bulk goes before we hit some limits on the free plan, because at the moment we're not paying for it. Where's it gone? Oh. Ah, cool. How do we get back to all tags? Oh, you can... Okay, that's not exactly how we wanted it, because you can like toggle them on or off, but that'll do for now. Help us work this out a little bit more. Sorry. Just wondering, like there's quite a lot of information going on here, and it's not really looking exactly how I wanted it. But I don't really know how I want it to look. I wonder if you can come up with an alternate layout for the card note card. Retain all the same fields, but make sure it has a modern and streamlined look. Perhaps use different font weights to place greater importance, or lighter grays, blacks, place greater font weights, okay, so greater, actually to place greater importance on key fields, and lighter grays, blacks to sort of stuff. See what it comes up with. It looks terrible. Let's undo that. 38k daily tokens remaining. Damn. Quite expensive. Okay, let's on the plus new note modal. Can you have a two-step process? On the first step, we add the title, body, and tags. On the second step, add the source information, or can skip adding those details. We so that used about 30,000 tokens. How many tokens do you get on the free plan? So 26 million tokens divided by, like, let's just say 35,000 on average. 742. That's a month though. 23 messages, 25 messages a day. Let's see this. So title, body, tags, next, test. I don't know if it makes sense to have categories and tags seeing this now. This permanent button. Those things are going to be permanent, so like, what's a symbol for permanent? Just wondering if instead of this you have, instead of like this little bookmark icon or something, you could have something that shows it's a permanent symbol, permanent note. Let's try copy. Let's go to V0. Let's ask it the same. Looks quite a bit more basic. Do like how the date's smaller. Where is it? The other thing that I think is relevant is I think we might need to also support categories, because ideally we might have categories on the side and then tags. And then I think this source model might also need a little bit of updating. Source type. I think by default we should provide some default source types. This should be like publication name. Anyway, I think that let's just ask. obviously can do it. I just wanted it to see it can quite understand. I probably worded that wrong. I should have said, can you write all future components in React? Save me having to convert them in Claude, because at the moment we're taking them into Claude, converting them, but we still need to take them into Claude because obviously bolt.new isn't available. It doesn't understand our like API layer, and we'd need to update these components anyway because yeah, like there's no like get all notes blah blah blah. What I am interested in doing is knowledge bank. What if we were to just ask? Actually, that's a question. New preview. These obviously have a maximum size. So even when you go full screen, it's 3 across. Oh, maybe it's the same. It just looks really wide. Maybe it's ideally like 4. Okay, we're mucking around a little bit. I need to get on with actually writing some code. So, what are we going to do next? I think we probably can add this left-hand navigation just so we can see the tags and allow filtering by tags, and then that'll give us a little bit more functionality to work with. And then once we've done that, we can start working on these tiles. So we're going to go to Claude. We are going to add some content. So we're going to add content from our existing project. So where is it? Components, front end, source, components, features, dashboard. What else have we? Do we have router here? Okay, great. So delete that router, delete that dashboard. Let's delete app just to be sure and import the current one. Alright, so I think it needs a little bit better prompting as well. So I have used bolt.new to generate an example, an initial concept for the UI. While the files are in TypeScript, I need you to output the updated files as React only files. Then I'm going to tell it that bolt.new uses with Tailwind. So if you need me to it's not import because it says here it's not a component library. You do not install. Copy and paste the code for any of these components from folder. Please let me know. What I want you to do now is update. So let's go to bolt.new. Let's download this. And then extract all. We might need. Do we have? We don't have a get all tags. Okay, what I want you to do now is create the tag sidebar. Okay, let's see if this works. So components, sorry, where is it? Downloads. Tag, no card, no header. Cool. Let's attach those. Actually, one, yes. To use classes. No for tags, just use dummy tag names now. Yes, use date F, yes. Yes. Button. Yes, please proceed, and tell me, and also tell me what folder we need the shad CNUI saved in for icons. Tell me. Okay. So we need to install our icons. Yes, write all the code. Alright, so components. Didn't want you to write. It was a waste of tokens. I don't know why it doesn't do everything in one go. Just no. I don't want to mock the, it's still mocking the tags. Alright, let's see if this works. Actually, change plan. No, I was going to get it to create the endpoint, but let's just keep going with what we're doing. So in front end components, we need a new file called dashboard. Okay. Components, tag sidebar. Note card. It's got this in the wrong location. I'm just going to comment this out. I'm not convinced it's not going to make an issue here, so just save that. So features UI. Actually, I forgot to install those. So components, folder, UI. And then in here, we need button.jsx. Badge. Scroll area. All right, save all that. Now in our notes, note card, this is going to be in the wrong location, so it's up 1, up 2, into components, into UI. All right, then we need a folder for data, and then in here mock dash tags, copy, paste. Right, then note card, and then in our dashboard, we're going to bring in these two components. So dashboard, user, it hasn't done it right. Right, so I'm going to tell Claude, here is our existing dashboard component. Please just update it to import the new header and sidebar, and I think that is right. So copy. All right, user is loading, create modal, selected tags. And then no user, login. If no user, handle select tags, and then just for now going to comment that out, sorry, turn this. What have we got unsaved? Right, now failed to import. we get an error. So I get so do we have this utils? No, we don't. Okay, interesting. I think we're going to run into a couple of problems here, but let's just see how we go. So let's install this. And then we need a file, need a folder called, and then we need a file called utils. And then in here, we need this. And then we also need those two packages. Where is this import path needs to change. Okay, we now get another issue. So another package. I forgot to install that too. We're getting there. All right. I don't know. Okay, so that one, obviously these aren't going to work because we don't have tags. It got rid of the styling on the tag, which is kind of annoying. But it's giving us a little bit of a better appreciation of how it should look. And it's got our publication and the publication type, and then whether or not that note is fleeting or permanent. So I think that's working quite well. So I like how that looks. We really need to come up with some better content rather than notes, because it's not a note-taking app. It's like a knowledge bank. It's weird how I think that's because it's got more fields. All right, great. So then we need to update this as well. So let's take, great, that all works. Now I want you to update features notes, our create note modal, a two-step process. I have attached our current as well as So features, notes, create note, and then downloads. One, yes, 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 yes. Alright, so let's just check this. So we come over here, we need dialogue. You don't need to give me the code for each component. I can cut and paste that. Actually, notes. Actually, I'm trying to, so in installation, if I run this, where does this go? So we've done that. Maybe what we can do is it doesn't have access to all of our config files. Yes, and then provide all the code separately. I think what we need to do is get it to, we need to ask Claude in a separate message, or maybe we use ChatGPT to be conscious of our current config files and then update them to be able to accept the shard CN imports and put them in the appropriate folder that we want them to go into. But for now, we will just obviously cut and paste this directly from Claude, even though it's burning through our tokens to create all of this functionality. And what we're going to do after this, I'm going to open up Notion. I'm going to note down some of the things that I think we need to work on to advance this more. So yeah, I know I'm probably a little bit all over the place, but you know, this is an idea that's kind of something is just working it out as I go. Like I haven't designed the UI beforehand. I haven't kind of thought about all these issues. So this is kind of like the UI design process, but instead of separating the UI from the development, we're kind of doing them one and the same. And as we go through this process, I'm learning, okay, how do I want to work with this application? What are the things that I ideally want to support? A couple of things are maybe we need the ability to have categories as well as tags. We obviously need some API endpoints to get all of the tags, so that when someone then clicks on the tag, they can filter by that tag. I like this idea of, you know, maybe being able to favorite or star a note. We need to think about the source and the type of information that you might get from a source. Maybe depending on the source type that you select, you then want to display different fields. So for example, if the source type is a YouTube video, instead of asking for the publication, you ask for the channel name. All of those things are things that are kind of coming into consideration for me. So let's just get the last of our components here from Claude and we'll start creating these. So I'm going to pull this over to the left hand side. We're going to need to install all of these, even though I think we've got most of them. But let's just run that. Alright, while that's happening, in our UI folder, we need a new file called dialog.jsx. And input. do all that. Now in our create note modal, yep, we're going to replace all of this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to comment it out, just in case we need to revert. We're going to copy this, paste this, save that. Let's just check. Yeah, it's using our use create note. So check that's the same. Oh, sorry, my dog's just come in. All right, awesome. Let's go back here. Gonna bring the application across. Let's hit new note. Awesome. So new two-step note. Test. Next. New source title. To do YouTube. Create note. Okay. There it is. Okay, so we've got a bit of an issue. It's not invalidating the 10-stack query parameters, the key. Where does that happen? So actually it's going to be in our use create note, query key note. So then in our notes dashboard, use notes. Yeah, I don't know why that's not updating, because we do invalidate the query key, which should replace it. Anyway. There's the new two-step note. It still saves all of the information that we need. So we have that working. Can take a brief pause. I got to move my dog, and then I'm going to come back to Notion. We'll start thinking about some of the functionality that we need to change in order to make this a little bit more robust. Thanks for watching.